Ferrari is finally making an SUV. It's called the Purosangue. It's coming out in 2022. So basically, they'll be calling it the FUV for some reason, a Ferrari utility vehicle. And I don't know why they'd be doing that. It's just another way they'll, you know, hey, look at me, we're Ferrari, we can do anything we want. You have to follow our rules, and you have to call it FUV, even though it really isn't. It's an SUV. It's kind of like what BMW did with the X5, and they call it the SAV, the Sports Activity Vehicle. It's an SUV. People, it's an SUV. It'll basically be an adaptation of this, the Ferrari Roma, even though it looks like an 812. Right. Don't get me wrong, this Ferrari looks beautiful, but the Purosangue, not really. I'll get to that later. So there are rumors of it being a hybrid, or it might be just petrol powered, but there are rumors of it being a hybrid. It might be plug-in, and it might have the same system, kind of like a curve system that the LaFerrari has. So to rival the DBX and the Urus, which are both around 200,000-ish US dollars, give or take. And I think it will be a little bit more expensive than that because it's a Ferrari, and Ferraris are usually more expensive than their rivals. And yeah, I think it will cost around maybe $250,000, possibly 300 or more. So for power, the Urus has around 640 horsepower and the DBX has 542. I think the Purosangue would have a bit more than that, I think, maybe 700. There are rumors of it having like 900, I think. But if that will happen, that will be one hell of an SUV. Especially if it's a hybrid, then that will just take off the line really quick. For the interior, we haven't seen any shots yet, or any renders yet, or any spy photos yet. But I think being a Ferrari, it'll be nice and full of leather, and the steering wheel will have all those buttons and the starter button and the traction control button thingies and the indicator switches. I think all of that will be in the steering wheel to give the feel of how actually being in the Ferrari, yay. But still, it would be nice, you know. I think it'll have the same thing that the I think the 812 or the GT4 Lusso has. The screen on the passenger side, possibly it being an SUV and having rear seats, it might have it in the back as well. All right, so my complaints. First of all, I don't really like the looks. I think it's quite ugly, and I think they could have done a much better job. Because it's the Ferrari. They've done the 458, they've done the F12, the 308, the Testarossa. All of those cars are beautiful, but then they came up with this. In my opinion, they basically looks like a jacked up 812, and I think they messed it up. I think they did try to do what Porsche did with the Cayenne. When it first came out, it looked like 911, but then it looked ugly. Another thing that I didn't really like about the looks about the new Purosangue is that they could have done a much better job. See, look at these past few renders that they've had. You tell me that this is not a nice looking car. Well, it's a lot better than the Purosangue for sure. My second complaint would be the name. I don't really like it because it's Purosangue, and Purosangue in English is thoroughbred, and thoroughbred isn't really that appropriate for an SUV, I think. It will be more appropriate for a really fast car or like a really track focused or maybe a track edition or a special edition of one of their nice cars, or maybe like the next limited edition Ferrari, like the predecessor to the Ferrari LaFerrari. That would be a nice name. But then people went ahead and put it on an SUV. It's basically like Ford naming an SUV a Mustang. Wait, they did. Look, I understand why Ferrari would want to make an SUV. They want that piece of the SUV cake because, of course, SUVs are selling like hotcakes right now. So, yeah, they want to make one. But I seriously think that they could have done a better job with the looks and the name. That's it. I think this will be a good one. And I think it will sell, but maybe a few tweaks here and there would make it a lot better.
Thank you very much for watching. The sources that I've used are in the description down below, and I hope that you've liked this video very much.